You can watch us live stream at www.twitch.tv/Inez27 or at SeemsGoodMagic.com at the bottom of the main screen. Our live stream times are going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you'd like to know whenever we upload new content or when we're live streaming, follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. Thanks and enjoy the video. Hey, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here with another 8-4 Gatecrash draft. Pretty good pack one. I think the choice is really between Skyjack, Aetherize, Dimir Keyrune, maybe. It's got to be the best Keyrune, so that one's not bad. Works best with its guild, but I think we're just going to take the Skyjack because it's a pretty powerhouse 2-drop and good in both Orzhov and Boros. Passing a wee bit of a Boros signal, but also passing a Dimir and Simic signal, so I think that is definitely a good pick. Oh, cool. Alright. Second pick, I think we'd probably just go into the Kingpin's pet. I could also take the Guild Mage, too. I think the pet's going to work better with the Skyjack, and pet's probably the best Orzhov extorter that is in the guild, I think. Definitely the best common one. Yeah, I think I'm okay with taking the pet here over the Guild Mage. Guild Mage is pretty good, though. I think I like the evasion on this more. It's a close pick. It is a close pick. This does a lot of stuff, too. But I'm going to take the pet. I just like them. Okay, third pick. We have a choice between Executioner Swing, Balustrade Spy, possibly Bane Alley Broker, but I think it's really just going to be Spy or Swing. I'm kind of feeling the Spy over the Swing. It's one of my favorite flyers. This is good removal, but this blocks a lot of stuff, puts a lot of pressure on. It's a good creature. It's one of my favorites. Can run it in multiples. It works so well with so many other black spells. This definitely works well with Extort and guys you don't want to block with, but we're going to go Spy. Possibly wrong pick, but we'll find out. Okay, so now Griffin, Smite. I think we're just taking the Griffin. I like Smite a lot in the Extort decks, but I like Griffin a lot too, and we look like we're on a good flyer plan right now. One that I'm happy with. I'm okay with Dutiful Thrall. It's actually really good in the Orzhov deck. You can attack in Skyjack, you can block, so you can still extort people out. Other than that, it's just a guild gate, so let's take the good card. I like it. Alright, here we're just slamming the Edict. Staying on the Orzhov path, getting some good removal. Okay, we take the Boros Guild Gate, open us up for a red splash, which isn't bad. Could also take the Call the Nightwing, which works well with Extort and Evasion. Getting the splash now would make more sense, I think, than picking a splash card. I'm not sure, though. This thing will work well with most every creature I have so far. But I'm going to take the Mana Fixing in case I find something nuts and red I want to take. Madcap's pretty good, but I think this is definitely a Shadow Slice deck. We have 4 potential flyers already. We don't need to splash red necessarily. And Shadow Slice is just so sick with Extort, and if we're in the colors for it. So I think this could be a Shadow Slice deck. Okay. We can take the Millennial Gargoyle. It's not a very exciting pick, though. I think we'll take the Active Treason. Could splash for it if I pick up some Undercity Informers or Cartel Aristocrats. Sack Outlets. Furious Resistance doesn't feel that horrible with this, but we may not be dipping into red, and it's certainly not a good splash card, so we'll just take the... I think I'm more likely to sideboard or play a Riot Gear than I am a Shattering Blow. It's a pretty late Denizen. That might be a sign that Dimir could be a third color if I have to. Okay. So, I mean, we definitely want to be as much Orzhov as we can, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, pack 2, and I think we're just going to take another Spy. I like it quite a bit. Could also take Gutter Skulk, Madcap, Cinder Elemental. Cinder Elemental is probably a worthy splash a lot of the time, but I don't know about necessarily for this deck. And if you don't have to splash, or if you want, you might as well take the best card that's definitely on color with what you're trying to do. And that's got to be the Spy. It's going to let us play some other cards too. Okay, could take another Dutiful Thrall. Could take the Urbis Protector. That's actually a pretty good way to top out. Other than that, Death Cult Rogue is a pretty good card. I think I probably take the Rogue because I have the Shadow Slice and I want as much evasion as possible. We could just play the evasion. It actually just works really well with Orzhov, even though it's a Dimir card. And Urbis Protector is strong, no doubt. But I think I'd rather have the Rogue. We look like we could potentially be just a really good evasive Orzhov deck. So I'll take the Rogue there. Oh, wow. Well, this is certainly a worthwhile splash. So I'm glad I picked up the Guild Gate. And there's really nothing else for us in here anyway. Madcap or something. But yeah, we'll take the Avenger for sure. Okay, now we actually have some choices. We can do another Sweet Flyer. We can do Death's Approach. For Mill, so far we have the 2 Spies, but it's still early. Guardian of the Gateless is very good. So Legionnaire is pretty good, but a little less exciting on the splash. So it's really like Death's Approach or Guardian of the Gateless. I mean, Death's Approach works better with Extort, but we really don't have a ton of Extort yet. Legionnaire, what pick is it? I mean, Firemane Avenger as well. It could be that Boros is open coming from the side. So I may go a little bit deeper 3 color. But Guardian I can for sure play. It's a really strong 5-drop. I'm going to go with the Guardian. I think that's right. Okay, well, Basilica Guards is pretty good, but we're in need of some 2-drops. And though it's not evasive, I don't really like Basilica Guards if I'm going to try and make Battalion work, but it is a really good blocker, so maybe I should think about this a little more. It's got block, it extorts, doesn't work that well with Firemane Avenger, but it's not that big of a deal. Gutter Skulk is quick, but works better with the Skyjack probably. Let's take the Guard, actually. I changed my mind. I think I want the Guard because it's 3-drop creature that extorts, and that feels like it's going to be, and it blocks the ground well. I feel like it's, even though it doesn't work that well with the Firemane Avenger, I feel like it's still the right pick. We can even take another one. We have so many flyers. I think that's fine. Another Act of Treason. Let's still leave ourselves open to the possibility we do that. All right, Thrall Parasite, Death's Approach, Executioner's Swing. Interesting. Could pick up some more Extort and get a creature. Could get some removal, which I am short on. But I think I'm going to take the Extorter. I like it more with how much potential damage we can do with Extort. Alright, Madcap feels like it's probably in order here. Tabling Madcap is pretty insane. Alright, take another Dutiful Thrall over the Beacon. Take some damage, I guess. Skullcrack could be good with Extort, actually. Let's hide the Gargoyle for now. I'd prefer to not play that. Prefer to not play the Skullcrack. Wow. That's crazy. Alright, so I could actually use a little more fixing, since I'm guaranteed. I'm definitely going 3-color because Avenger's worth it. And Madcap's probably a worthwhile splash too, even more so than the Act. However, if I pick up Pit Fight, Undercity Informer, or Cartel Aristocrat, Act of Treason's going to actually be pretty insane. Alright, so looking good. I mean, we've got a good path. We're doing the same thing we did in the last draft, sort of, but it's definitely more of a red splash and less of a mix of 3 colors. Jeez, opened Obsidian again. That's actually just... I love that it's not only on color, but it's just worth 1,000,000 tickets, too. It's insane. Really happy that just happened. Okay, choices now. Syndic, white. I think we're just doing... We're on the extort cheap bear plan. I like that a lot more. Boros Key Rune's actually fine for this deck too for fixing, but I'd rather have the Syndic. White's good too with the spies, but it's better if we had more removal. Let's take the Syndic. Okay, another Guildgate or Knight Executioner swing. I think we want the fixing. I want to make sure I can play all this stuff. Less stress on Obsidian. Executioner swing is very good though, no doubt. The Knight is very good too. But I think the Boros Guildgate's in order here. Okay, another Spy or Screecher. I think we'll take the Screecher. We're in need of some more 2-drops. Screecher's a pretty damn good one. Spy is very good too, like I said, but I think I'd rather have the Screecher. Alright. Pit Fight, Holy Mantle, Death Cult Rogue. Most of our guys evade already, which makes Holy Mantle a little less useful. Pit Fight's going to be good with our spies, not very good with our guards. Honestly, we don't have a ton of good stuff for the Pit Fight. Another Death Cult Rogue feels okay, but it's a little mana intensive for this deck. But I think it's actually okay. It evades. We actually have enough. We don't have to do the Act of Treasons. I can hide these. I'd still kind of like the Madcap because we have so much evasion. So this is 20 spells. Yeah, let's take the Death Cult Rogue here. I guess Pit Fight, I really would like the Pit Fight. I just don't see it being super realistic in this deck. Gift is insane. Just insane. Most of our guys fly already, but other than that, I would take a Thrall Parasite. But I think there's enough upside to Gift, especially, can you imagine Gift on an Obsidian? I guess you always want to exile it, so it'd be most useful probably on like a Syndic or any of our ground guys. Pretty good on a Dutiful Thrall. There's enough upside to Gift where it just flips a game, I think. We're good on creatures. We might need the life gain. Could take a 3rd Dutiful Thrall. Yeah, you know, I'm not opposed to that. Thunder Fist and Ember Beast seem a little unnecessary in here. As does triple Dutiful Thrall, to be perfectly honest, but... Shadow Alley versus Court Street. Most of our guys evade already, and there's really no need for the Court Street that I can see. But I'm going to take it anyway, just in case. Alright, Prophetic Prism's actually amazing for us. Really happy to get it that late. And the Key Rune, so definitely play that as well. Getting late playable stuff. Possibly sideboard that. Not very likely, but possible. Alright, so this is 25 spells. I'm going to have to make some cuts. Oh, wow, Aerial Maneuver too. So we were in the right colors. That's the really good news. Very short on removal. That's kind of the bad news, but I think we don't need to play 3 Dutiful Thrall main deck. That's for damn sure. So I can sort of pick and choose what I'm playing here. Got a lot of good options. Ended up with a fair amount of Extort. Very good amount of evasion. I may end up cutting one of the rogues because it's a wee bit mana intensive, but We'll see. I do like having all this evasion, though. Works really well if we can get the battalion online. Prism, Key Rune. So this is 23 right here, and that's only playing one Dutiful Thrill main deck. I could swap the Gutter Skulk for another Dutiful Thrill, but that's probably a better sideboard option. For now, we can just go on the beatdown plan. I guess, like I said, the Death Cults could be problematic to play, but this is probably a better main deck way to play this deck. And then if they're like hyper aggressive, we can do, and if they're hyper aggressive and they don't have a lot of evasion, then we can do the Dutiful Thrill. So if they're just like fatties on the ground, like Gruul and stuff, I can sideboard into my Dutiful Thrills. But this will be better. This is more of like the aggressive way to play this deck, I think. I guess Madcap's not in here, but if I play 2 Boros Guild Gates, I probably don't even... Yeah, 2 Boros Guild Gates, Key Rune, and a Prism. We don't even need to run a mountain. So that's the good news. No mountains necessary. I could do the Madcap over a Death Cult Rogue. Madcap's pretty bangy. We already have Gift Shadow Slice, though. That's enough for me. We don't need to do the Madcap. Let's keep our mana simple. We need to be able to play opposite out when we want to. So let's take a look here. Just the one red spell, so no red sources necessary. We already have 2 white sources. So let's see. This would be 8, 9. No, I need more, actually. Let's see. 16, 17, 18. No, I was right. Okay. So I do need a little more white. So 9 white sources, 8 black sources, but also Prism. I need the double black, though, for the rogues. And I only need 1 white for that. Okay. Well, let's cut 1 more. Let's bring it to this. So it's 9 black sources, 8 white sources. 9 white sources if you count this, and the Prism, 10. Okay, I think this is a fairly safe mana base. I like it. Alright, yeah, this deck looks really good. Got an opposite out, too. What more can you ask for? Alright, see you round 1. You know, I may want to cut a guard for a Madcap. I don't know if I'm opposed to that. If I'm going to try and just get as much damage in, and I've got all this evasion, maybe splashing the Madcap is worth it after all. And then I can always sideboard out of it if that plan is going sour, you know. I still have 4 red sources too, so I don't even have to run a mountain. 4 red sources for 2 red spells is legit. So I think there's enough upside to Madcap playing it in this deck. With all the flyers, the Death Cult Rogues, the Extort. Could be insane.